Hey everybody, welcome to Meta Market Weekly. I'm Justin, your co-host, along with Fernando. It's been a couple of weeks. We're back. Sorry there wasn't an episode last Friday. Weirdly enough, both Fernando and I were having some strange internet connection issues that were intermittent all day long, and we couldn't really record a podcast. So we're back here and excited to be back. Have lots to talk about today, of course. Fernando, how are you doing, man?
Hey Justin, I'm doing great, and yeah, I'm excited to be back here. Today is gonna be a special podcast. We're gonna be sharing some very interesting news on what's happening on the market right now,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, as well, the usual market analysis. A lot of people are asking me right now what are my thoughts, what's happening next. A lot of people are anxious, because finally, after months of waiting, the market is starting to pick up again. And, some people are asking themselves, should they be taking profits? Should they be waiting? So I'm gonna be, share my analysis as usual. I'm gonna share my thoughts, and I hope that they serve to guide everyone that's listening to understand what to do next. And yeah, so let me start by bringing my trading view profile.
Cool, man.
Awesome. So yeah, pretty much as you can see, I traced this brush line a couple of weeks ago. So far, it looks like it's playing out neatly. I am expecting the market to go all the way to this level, uh, because we have a very strong resistance here. And if we use the Fibonacci retracement, we place the highest and the lowest, and we're gonna see that it bounces perfectly here. So definitely this is an area of a lot of interest. However, one thing that I've noticed is that the RSI is already very high. It's already at overbought. And I see a lot of resistance here at this level at 41K. Actually, in the previous cycle, we reached 41K, and then we have a retracement for about like 30%. So it was a strong retracement.
Mm.
So I'm expecting something like that to happen very soon. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna go all the way to this level or if it's gonna, we're gonna reach here and then there's gonna be a retracement. But definitely, there's gonna be a retracement anytime soon. Let's not go that far back. Let's focus on what's happened this year. Every time we reach a new higher low, there's a retracement. We're followed by like a month or a month and a half of correction. And these last retracement was the longest. We reached a new higher low, and then we had like 2 months of retracement. So I'm definitely expecting something like that to happen very soon. I guess it depends a lot on what the market, Wall Street, and all that is gonna do. If the ETF is released anytime soon, then definitely we're gonna reach this level and then immediately a correction.
Mm.
Actually, I wanted to share something. This is a graph pointing previous launches of important contracts. So when the Bitcoin CME launched, I believe this was on 2017, almost immediately there was a crash. And then there was a Bitcoin futures ETF. I think this was on Europe because there's no ETFs on the States yet. I think this was in Europe, and almost immediately the market crashed.
Mm.
So I definitely think that this ETF situation is more of a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of scenario. I think that the market, once it is approved that the ETF is coming out, I think that almost immediately we're gonna see that correction, And like I have here my brush line played out. I think that we're gonna see something like this, and then we're gonna have the halving, and then we're gonna, it's gonna be moon time. It's gonna
So the
go up.
halving is really going to drive the upward momentum, you think?
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, you
because
know,
it's
from history. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but forget about history, man. I think I mentioned this before. I mean, the price increase of Bitcoin is a future. So the
Hmm.
Bitcoin technology is designed to go against inflation and to fight corruption. Those
Hmm.
are the futures of Bitcoin. And I say this because, as I've said before, the price to mine one Bitcoin is going to be increased times two. So let's say
Hmm.
that right now you mine a block and there's 8 Bitcoins of rewards, and those 8 Bitcoins go to all the miners. Now there's gonna be only four Bitcoins mined per block. So that means that rewards are gonna be slashed by a half. So that means that now the price of Bitcoin to mine one Bitcoin is gonna be twice expensive. So it is a future. I mean, it's forget about the past, forget about speculation, forget about ETS, forget about that. It is a future built in on the Bitcoin protocol that the price will go up because the cost of electricity to mine one Bitcoin increases. So if the price of Bitcoin does not increase, then it stops being profitable and the
Yeah,
whole system collapse.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, it's gonna happen. It's not a if situation. It's a when situation, and
Hmm.
this bull market is gonna be different to all other bull markets because this cycle is finally the cycle where we have all the institutional money arriving. So I mean, I know we all know that there's gonna be a bubble. We're gonna see, I don't know, maybe the total market cap of crypto reach like 6-7 trillion dollars, and then the bubble's gonna burst. Like with everything, it's not just with crypto. It's with real estate. It's with Microsoft stocks. It's with everything. There's always a bubble that is created between demand and actual price. And I mean, it's complicated. It's just complicated to know the actual value of something because you have to be an expert. And I would say like only like 1% or maybe fewer than 1% of the population of the world can give you the actual value of something. And value is something that you determine with utility and the amount of how difficult or how easy it is to get whatever product you're looking for. Let's
Yeah.
I don't know, let's say that let's talk a little bit, like for example, a diamond. If it's very hard to get a diamond and there's very few diamonds, it's going to be very expensive. But if there's a lot of what's the material for pennies? Coal?
Copper.
Yeah, copper, yeah. But if there's a lot of copper and it's very easy to get, then it's gonna be very cheap. So it's economic principles that might be obvious to some, might not be obvious to some, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's supply and demand and positional goods and utility. So it's very interesting, very very interesting things to know. But anyways, back to the subject. It's not just Bitcoin that is going up. Also, Ethereum right now is having a good time. We reached this level of resistance and we immediately rejected it. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but it's looking good. And also, BlackRock is releasing an ETF for Ethereum, and I'm pretty sure other hedge funds are gonna be releasing a ETF very soon. So we're definitely going to see the market pick up, not just for Bitcoin, but for Ethereum as well. And yeah, once I tell my friends that Bitcoin is like oil. If once the price of oil goes up, the price of everything increases. The price of gasoline, the price of food, the price of energy. And once the price of oil goes down, the price of everything decreases. So it's the same scenario here. Once the price of Bitcoin increases, the price of everything else increases. Once it decreases, the price of everything else decreases. So that's what we're gonna see. That's what we're actually seeing right now. We're gonna see the race of all other cryptocurrencies with the increase of the price of Bitcoin. And it's not just good news for the cryptocurrency market. The stock market right now is pretty good as well. I remember like a month ago, I created this price target area. It bounced. Well, it didn't touch the bottom of the price range, but I would say like 70%, and immediately it bounced. So the stock market is looking good. Again, everything is going to pump, and not just because we're having the halving, but I don't know if you remember, at the beginning of the year we had the situation where the U.S. government was looking to default the debt that they had, and they didn't. And the reason why that's never going to happen is because it's a threat to national security. If you stop printing money, you stop paying the government, you stop paying the military, you stop paying the Marines, you stop paying everyone that's keeping the government together. And if that happens, it's a threat to national security because you can be invaded by Russia or by China or whatever. So that's never going to happen. And we all knew that. And they signed a bill saying that the government is going to print about $26 trillion from 2023 to 2026. So there's going to be $26 trillion more of money added to the market. And that's terrible news, because that means that from now to 2026, your money is going to be worth, I don't know, right now there's like 33 trillion dollars. By then there should be like 55, 60. So that means that your money is going to be worth 50% less in 3 years because of all the money that's being printed. So
Another reason to get out of the US dollar.
yeah,
And
absolutely. So it's terrible. The US dollar and fiat currencies are in a dead spiral right now. They don't really care because as I've said before, they're doing this on purpose. They're trying to make you reliant on the government. They're trying to make your money worth less, so you have to work more. And it's all part of the new world order agenda by the G7, and all these people that they don't care about you. They think you're just a number. They're just killing people, fighting wars, and there's really no purpose to it. It's just greed and poor management.
yeah,
Because at the end of
yeah.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if they were smarter, and if they were fair, productivity levels would be much higher. Because at the end of the day, the corporation and the consumer and the worker, they are part of the same organism,
Mhm.
and they're pretending like they're not. Like, imagine you're a human being, and imagine that your heart is fighting against your liver, and your liver is fighting against your lungs. I mean, you're gonna die. You're gonna die the next day. And it's the same thing with the economy. The owner, the government, and the workers, and the consumers, they're all part of the same organism. And if you're fighting against each other, what happens? You get an unproductive organism, and that's what's happening right now. So the problem is not the economy. The problem is not that there's a war. Nothing of that is real. The real problem is that right now, the human psychology is going through a very dark phase, and we're just fighting for no reason against each other, and that's because the people that represent us or leaders, they have no they have no heart. They have no values. They have no empathy. They have nothing for us, and that's the reason why we're in the situation we are. Because at the end
Yeah,
of the
well, I mean,
day,
it's an intentional, it's intentional, just like like I think you've said on
yeah,
many podcasts ago. The system isn't broken. The system works exactly the way it's supposed to.
exactly,
And
yeah,
unfortunately, the true reality is that our world is a very, very close version of what you see in the Matrix. The
yeah,
majority of humanity are chattel, are literally food that these people feed off of, and they have constructed this matrix that is built from the ground up to be very deceitful and very specifically designed to keep the majority of humanity down and them on top. And this is the reason why alternative systems need to be built. Why we're doing what we're doing. Why there's other people out there who are doing things, because you know this is the thing. And in terms of the way things are going, what I think though right now is that they are actually losing control of the matrix, though, because of the fact that these things are spiraling out of control. And yes, I agree with you that Congress is going to continue to approve that spending. Yes, but one of the things that I think, and I think I've mentioned this before, that I think is going to be a part of that breaking of the matrix is when the amount of interest payments that we're paying to that I shouldn't say we, I should say that the U.S. government is paying to the private bank, the Federal Reserve, is hits the equivalent of the amount of money that is available and that is brought in as revenue by the U.S. government. So what's happening
yeah,
right now is I read an article yesterday. I can try to find it and put it in the show notes, but it talked about how the interest payments the government is paying is just around somewhere like close to $1 trillion a year. And that money is, we're getting very close to being in parity with that. And then the problem is once those interest payments go higher than the amount of revenue that is brought in by the US government, that's no longer sustainable. It doesn't matter if
yeah,
Congress decides to go, hey, we're going to raise the debt ceiling, because there's not literally going to be enough to be able to pay the Federal Reserve back. And what people don't realize is beforehand, many years ago, many of the creditors of the United States corporation, I like to call it because that's what it is,
yeah,
were foreign entities. So were either banks in other countries or were actual governments like China and Russia, et cetera, et cetera. Well, those foreign interests have no interest whatsoever in buying our debt anymore because of the
oh
situation
yeah,
that we're in. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the only people that are lending money to us are the international bankers that run the Federal Reserve. So when that
yeah,
option goes out the window, then we are going to be in a situation where the system is going to really start to crack. And honestly, I don't really think that's a bad thing, because I think that we are coming to a place where this really needs to change, and it needs to change in for the better. And unfortunately, that may look like some kind of breakdown of the system, but
yeah.
I just don't think it's
The
going to go on
system,
forever.
the system is not going to break down because again, this is by design.
Right.
These increased interest rates, they are doing this on purpose.
Oh
Why?
yeah,
Because
100%.
that's like it's yeah, it's an elaborated excuse to be like, oh, the interest rates are too high. We have to do something. Vote for me. Do this. Blah blah blah. And
Oh
you know,
yeah,
people
man.
don't understand the economy, and you know they follow blindly. It's like what they call a false flag attack. You know, you pretend like you're being attacked, but you pay some guys to attack you, and then you have an excuse to attack them. So it's
Yeah,
the
it's like
same
nine
thing.
11. Yeah.
It's 9/11, but with economical principles. So I
Yeah,
always
man.
tell my friends, the war is no longer fought with weapons. Well, maybe
No.
you know, if you're invading like a small territory like Israel and stuff, but the world, you know, the world war, you know, the war that you fight against China and Russia and all the big players, it's with the economy, you know. So these are all they're all playing like chess, and you know they're doing, you know, bonds are the most stupid thing in the world. Like you're you're uh you're creating debt. Like you have debt and you're like, hey, I'm gonna sell you my debt, and if you buy it, I'm gonna give you interest rates. And then you have treasuries where, hey, I have profit, and from my profits, I'm gonna give you an IOU, and from my IOU you're gonna make interest rates, but it's you know, it's actually debt, you know. So they're creating debt out of debt, and they're using that debt to pay other debt, and so on and so on and so on. So it's
Yeah, well,
ridiculous, you know. It's and that,
yeah.
yeah, it is what is happening, you know. And I've seen it on crypto as well. That let's say that I don't know, you have one Bitcoin and you loan it, and when you loan your Bitcoin, you get, let's say, wrapped USDT, and with those wrapped USDT, you buy more Bitcoin, and then you loan it, and then with those wrapped, you get more wrapped USDT,
Yeah, it's
and with
just
those wrapped USDT,
yeah.
you buy more Bitcoin, and then you loan it, and then it's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. So they create a lot of debt, like super increased debt, and you know, if the market goes in your favor, then you buy back the Bitcoin, you use that Bitcoin to pay the other debt, and you buy back the Bitcoin, and you know, it's a chain. But if it goes the other way, you screw the economy. You create a massive black hole that screws everybody else. And guess what? Since you're the smart guy with the money, the government just comes out and bails you out. Like, oh, no problem. That's how the system works. And you know, that's why I like Donald Trump, because that's what he's talking about. The other day, when when Trump became famous, is when he was having a debate with Hillary Clinton, and you know, he was talking about this. He was talking about how the system was broken, and she was saying, "No, it's not broken." And he was like,
You know,
"Yeah,
she's
it's
right.
broken." Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, it's broken because I am doing it. You know, I am evading taxes. I'm doing this and
Right.
that. I'm getting bailouts, and I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm working according to the law, and
Yeah.
I am doing it. I am multi-billionaire, and I'm getting away with murder. And why am I getting away with murder? Because it's legal.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, not because something is legal, it means that it is correct, and that's
100%,
that's
man.
yeah, that's what we're fighting against, the Democrats. The Democrats, I just saw a video of Joe Biden from 2 days ago. This guy, he comes out and says, oh, government spending has nothing to do with inflation. I mean, you literally have to be the most illiterate person in economics to say something like that. The reason why we have all this inflation is because the government is spending money that they don't have. And this
Yeah.
guy just keeps gaslighting you. He's like, oh, no, there's no inflation. Oh, it's just a little bit. No, it has nothing to do with me. It is 100% everything to do with him. And the problem is that people are so dumb that they keep lying to your face, and you're just, oh, Joe Biden said that it has nothing to do. It has everything to do with it. So it's just dumb. You know, I just wish. I mean, I had not seen TV, regular TV, in a while. The other
Hmm.
day, I went to Cancun and I stayed at a hotel. And you know, I usually, you know, if I'm gonna watch something, I go to you know, Netflix or HBO Max or whatever. But I turned on the TV and I was watching CNBC and Fox News for a moment.
Yeah.
It is garbage. I mean, it is incredible how it's super left-sided, everything they say. In almost every news channel that I was watching, like 90% of the time, they're just attacking Donald Trump. And they're just praising Joe Biden and saying that inflation is not real. I mean, and most people keep watching that, and it's not real. I mean, it is, you have to be someone who has no clue about economic principles and about government and about human psychology and with no common sense to believe any of the lies that Fox News, CNBC, MSNBC, any one of these people are saying, because it's ridiculous. I'm
Well,
telling you,
you
man.
said that, war is fought with currencies, and I agree with that, but I think war is fought with is fought with currencies. It's fought psychologically
Yeah,
with media and
of course.
propaganda, and it's fought spiritually. I think those are the three
Oh yeah,
aspects of what we see in the world today when it comes to the way that a war is being waged. And it's so interesting is that everyone talks about, oh, World War III is around the corner and things like that. We're in World War III. It started a long time
yeah,
ago. It's
absolutely.
just like you said, it's just not us dropping bombs on each other anymore. It's
Correct.
like I talked about, currency, psychological warfare, and spiritual warfare.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
yeah, we're World War III already started, but it's played differently. I mean, we cannot throw nuclear bombs because if we do, we all die.
Yeah.
So I mean, we already know that's not possible. So we're just playing chess. The problem is that a lot of these people in power, like Joe Biden, they are already too old. And a lot of these people that are too old that are in power, they want to go out with a bang. They don't want to just die, of natural reasons. They have crazy ideas about God and the angels and stuff.
Yeah,
Are you still there?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like, in any moment, someone with a lot of power can just be like, hey, you know what? Let's just end this. Let's just drop a nuclear bomb. But we'll see what happens. I hope I am wrong about that. There's actually
I
an
I think
amazing,
you are.
yeah, well, I don't know, but there's actually an amazing TV show that got canceled like 4 years ago because it resembled too much reality. And the government, the FBI told them like, hey, this TV show needs to be ended. It's called The Brink. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have not.
You should watch it, man. It's incredible. One of the best TV shows I've ever seen. And it's about how everyone in Congress, does not matter that you're an American or if you're the president of Russia or if you're the president of India, they all went to Harvard together. They all go to the same
Oh
country
yeah,
club.
man.
Yeah,
Totally.
they're all
Totally.
friends, and it's all just a manipulation, and it's
It absolutely
incredible. But
is 100%. But
yeah, and
I still have a lot of faith in humanity. I still have a lot of faith
yeah.
that we can overcome. This is one of the reasons why we're doing what we're doing, because exactly what you talked about. We have been forced to live with a debt-based system, and we have to get out of debt-based system. We have to get back to an asset-based system. You're exactly right when you said that, bonds are ridiculous, because in the system where you have, the majority of fiat, with the king of fiat being the US dollar, it is literally a debt instrument. It is not
Yeah,
actual monetary currency. If you
no.
look back at the history of the United States, the actual only thing in the Constitution that says that can be money is gold and silver. But they did away with that
Really?
in 1933, and they replaced it with a debt-based instrument, because that's exactly what a US dollar is. When you're handing someone else, if I'm buying something from you, I'm literally giving you a debt instrument that is an IOU
Yeah,
from the US government. So this is the reason why we have to get back to a system that is based on asset-based currency, and why we created Meta One, and why it's so important right now, because like you said, this is the problem. This is the system that they've created, which works perfectly for them, but it works against everybody else. And
yeah,
yeah, but I just think that projects like ours and others out there who are doing great work, if we continue to, like we talk about all day long every day on the show, unify and come together and, advocate for things like blockchain, et cetera, we can make it happen and change this world for the better and have a better system that everyone else can use. And if you want to keep on the debt-based system, great. But if you want to be a part of a system that is asset-based and actually, creates wealth versus, destroys it, then yeah, we need those solutions for sure.
Absolutely. And
So
I
I
don't
just want
think
to talk
anyone
about
wants
Meta
that.
really quick. Sorry, go ahead. I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you
No, no, no.
off.
I just said that I don't really think that anyone wants that, but
You never know. Well, I mean, they want it, right? But if
yeah,
we,
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of like that classic, picture that a painting, I think it is, that everybody's seen of the chessboard that's being held up by all of these humans underneath it, and there's these giants playing chess on the chessboard that's held up by the humans. And as soon as we the humans stop holding up the chessboard, it's the chessboard, and the giants can no longer play chess. So
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
anyway, yeah, Meta's doing really well. We've been very stable as of late. I think we hit an all-time high on this looks like the 9th of November this month.
Yeah.
And the stability has been really good, continuing to go up. So, yeah, I mean, with Meta, obviously we don't see these massive jumps all the time, like with a bull market, like a Bitcoin, where you can see a huge pump overnight. But we see slow and steady growth, which is great. And obviously the goal and the vision of Meta is a much bigger picture of creating that asset based system as an alternative, like we talked about. So I stole your screen share. You can have it back if you want to
Sure,
transfer it
sure,
back to you.
sure. No worries.
But yeah, it's a crazy
I mean,
world, man.
I still had a few things that I wanted to talk about, but I remember that you told me that you had an appointment with someone. Do you want me to go ahead and try and give it a go, or are you in a rush?
Yeah, let's talk about a couple of them, whichever ones you think are most interesting, and then we can maybe take the rest for next week or something.
Cool, cool. So, yeah, I wanted to share this article that not a lot of people know. Microsoft right now, well, it just says Xbox, and what I heard, it was just Xbox, but I'm pretty sure that Microsoft, computers, laptops, whatever, eventually they're gonna integrate this. So for now, Microsoft is going to be integrating a cryptocurrency wallet to their Xbox Series.
Hmm.
So that's incredible. That's
Yep.
that's massive adoption.
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how this is going to work because as of right now, the Bitcoin chain does not scale, and I mean, unless they add the Lightning Network, and I'm not 100% sure that it works how it should. Maybe they'll integrate some other blockchain like Phantom, Solana. I don't know, but definitely this is going to happen. And apparently, from what I've been hearing, this is going to happen, by next year. Apparently, they're saying that they have plans for this integration of the cryptocurrency wallet for Xbox. I think it's gonna happen next year. We'll see. And it's there's gonna be a release of one game. I don't know if you ever played it, GTA.
Yep.
Okay, it's
Long,
it's a
long,
crazy
long time.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a crazy game. But they're
Yeah.
gonna release the GTA 6 game with for Xbox next year. And I was reading that Rockstar, which is the company of GTA 6, they are
Uh-huh.
saying that they're gonna add cryptocurrencies to the game. It's gonna be the
That's cool.
first. Yeah, no, that's amazing. This is going to be the most the most expensive game in the history.
Oh
I
gosh.
believe I believe it's they spent over $2 billion to build this game.
Another
You never.
psychological warfare video games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. I mean, I think this game is kind of a little bit too much because it's too violent and it's
It's very, yeah, I don't like it at all, but
yeah.
you know, I'm
I liked it.
go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I liked it when I was young,
Yeah.
but now that I'm older, I'm like, I mean, it's kind of it's too real, too graphic, and I do think that it does have an impact on society.
No, it totally
However,
does. Totally
yeah,
does.
absolutely. However, I feel like it's pretty cool that it's gonna be that, you know, the biggest game in history, and it's going to include cryptocurrencies. So
Yeah, I
we'll
mean,
see how that works out.
everyone, you're probably, some of you are probably wondering, well, why the heck are you guys talking about this? And the important part is, you know, it's the adoption. That's what's important
Yeah,
is when big when we see a massive new markets open up, it's good for everybody in crypto, even for folks like us in Meta that are anti-corporation, don't want corporations in using our crypto, et cetera, et cetera. The reason why is because when these big players do that, the smaller players are way more interested in adopting cryptocurrency. So for example, in our situation where we're only allowing humans to interact with our coin and our blockchain, and but we are still interested in supporting the small business owner. You know, the business owner can have a wallet and they can take, you know, Meta One directly for, you know, their goods and services, which is happening on a small level these days, and it's going to get bigger. But the exciting thing about this is that when we go out to, or any cryptocurrency project goes out to, you know, depending on what, doesn't matter, it's the small person, the big person, whoever it is in outside in business world, they are going to be more inclined to be like, oh yeah, maybe I should start doing that, because they're going to see big players like, let's say,
yeah,
Xbox taking cryptocurrency. And also what it does too is it obviously exposes cryptocurrency and blockchain to a much larger audience. I mean, there's millions upon millions, probably billions of users that use Xbox, and I'm sure there's a
absolutely.
lot of those people that are going to be completely brand new to crypto that are going to be exposed. So that's why it's exciting.
Yeah, it's all part of adoption because we also have to test the waters. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right now, I believe like Ethereum has a cap of 10 transactions per second. So I
Yep.
mean, it's garbage, to be honest. Ethereum is a technology trapped in the 80s. So you know, new technologies are coming out like Solana, Phantom, Meta One, and
Yep.
technologies have the, you know, capability of increasing their transactions per second. So if
Yep.
we have, you know, someone like Xbox adding a game like GTA where they have like a million or 10 million users, you know, we can test the new technology, and you know, we can see how far it can go, where it's gonna bottleneck, because we gotta remember, you know, blockchain, which is Web3, is not just about payments. It's about you know, a new system for voting, a new system for video games, a new system for accounting, a new system for medical records, a new system for real estate. So we're gonna have to do way more transactions per second than Mastercard and Visa, and you know, all of the big names out there. You know, we're gonna have
Yep.
to, in order for blockchain to truly work, I would say that we need to get to millions of transactions per second. And I mean, I don't know if we're going to get there eventually, but you know, if we have, I don't know, 10,000 transactions per second from Phantom, 10,000 from Solana, 10,000 from Meta One, from Tron, we have an ecosystem that works. Just like out there, you know, we don't just have Visa, we have Mastercard, we have all these international banks. So this is not a one horse race. You know, there's going to be multiple horses, and everyone's going to have their place in this new ecosystem. So this is great.
Yeah.
You know, Xbox adding cryptocurrencies to their platform is going to be great for adoption.
That's very true. That's very true. Well, cool. Well, I hate to cut it off, everybody, but we had sort of a short time period today to have the show, but we definitely really wanted to get an episode out. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. We can hold on to the couple other things that we wanted to talk about this week for next week, so you have something to look forward to. And of course, we keep it interesting. And yeah, everybody, really appreciate everyone watching. Just continue to do everything that you're doing to advocate for blockchain, for freedom, for true freedom, for transparency. All of those things are really important in a world that there's not a lot of that. And I know that we all are continuing to push together for the a new dawn and a better world. And I feel it coming. I feel every single day that we're moving towards that. More people are waking up, and that's very exciting to me. So, Fernando, do you have any final closing words before we get out of here?
Just that, if you like the podcast, please drop a like and share with your friends. And, if you
Yeah.
want to drop a comment, feel free.
Yeah, and we're interested in getting some guests on the show. So if you guys know of anybody interesting that you think would be an interesting guest on the show that you would like to hear an interview with, reach out to us, drop a comment. We'd love to hear about that. And we really appreciate everybody. Thanks so much for watching the show, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.